Tiny Thumbelina's Big Adventure. Once upon a time, in a cozy little house, there lived a woman who longed for a child. One day, a kind fairy gave her a tiny seed and said, "Plant this seed and see what happens." The woman planted the seed in a flower pot and took great care of it. Soon, a beautiful flower grew, and when the petals opened, there sat a tiny girl no bigger than a thumb. The woman named her Thumbelina. Thumbelina was small, but she was full of joy. She loved to sing sweet songs and dance around her little room. Her bed was a walnut shell, her blanket was made of rose petals, and she lived happily with her loving mother. One night, while Thumbelina was sleeping, a big, ugly toad hopped into the house. "She would make a lovely bride for my son," the toad croaked. He grabbed Thumbelina and carried her away to his muddy home by the river. When Thumbelina woke up, she was scared and sad. The toad told her, "You will marry my son and live in the mud." Thumbelina cried and cried. "I want to go back home," she said. But the toad didn't listen. She left Thumbelina on a lily pad in the middle of the river and went to prepare for the wedding. Thumbelina felt very alone. Just then a kind fish swam by. "Why are you crying, little one?" the fish asked. Thumbelina told the fish her story. The fish felt sorry for her and decided to help. The fish nibbled at the stem of the lily pad until it broke free, and the lily pad floated down the river, taking Thumbelina far away from the toad. Thumbelina drifted for days, feeling lonely but free. She finally came to rest in a beautiful meadow filled with flowers. A friendly butterfly saw her and said, "Hop onto my wings, and I will take you to see the world." Thumbelina happily agreed. She flew on the butterfly's back, feeling the warm sun and gentle breeze. But trouble soon found her again. A big beetle saw her and thought she was the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. "You must come with me to my beetle friends," he said, picking her up and flying away. The beetle friends were not so kind. "She has only 2 legs and no feelers," they said. "She is not like us." The beetle dropped Thumbelina onto a daisy and flew away, leaving her all alone again. Summer passed and winter came. Thumbelina shivered in the cold. A field mouse found her and took her into her cozy underground home. The mouse was kind and gave Thumbelina food and warmth. "You can stay here until spring," the mouse said. One day, the mouse's neighbor, a mole, came to visit. The mole liked Thumbelina and wanted her to be his wife. But Thumbelina didn't want to live underground forever. One day, while walking through the tunnels, Thumbelina found a swallow lying on the ground. He was cold and weak. "Poor bird," she said, covering him with leaves to keep him warm. Thumbelina cared for the swallow all winter, feeding him crumbs and water. When spring came, the swallow was strong again. "Come with me," he said. "I will take you to a warm place where flowers always bloom." Thumbelina climbed onto the swallow's back, and they flew high into the sky. They traveled far and wide until they reached a beautiful land filled with sunshine and flowers. The swallow gently set Thumbelina down on a big, lovely flower. To her surprise, there stood a tiny prince, no bigger than Thumbelina. "Welcome to my kingdom," he said. "Will you be my queen?" Thumbelina was so happy. She had found a place where she belonged. She and the prince were married, and Thumbelina finally had a home in a land of beauty and wonder. The prince gave her wings like his own, and now she could fly from flower to flower, singing and dancing with joy. One bright morning, Thumbelina and the prince flew over a meadow where they saw many tiny children playing. The children looked up and waved. Thumbelina flew down to greet them. "Who are you?" she asked with a smile. "We are the flower children," they replied. "We live in the petals of flowers and play all day long." Thumbelina joined their games, laughing and playing with her new friends. She loved her new home more and more each day. She helped the flowers bloom by singing to them, and the flowers were always happy to see her. One day, the kind fish who had helped Thumbelina escape the toad came to visit her. "I am so glad to see you happy," said the fish. "You have a wonderful heart, Thumbelina. Remember to always stay kind and brave." Thumbelina thanked the fish and promised to always be kind and brave. She lived happily ever after with her prince, the flower children, and all her friends in the beautiful land of flowers. The moral of the story, from Thumbelina's adventure, we learn that no matter how small we are, we can overcome big challenges with kindness and bravery. When we care for others like Thumbelina did for the swallow, we find true friends who help us in return. Remember, no matter where we are, we can find a place where we truly belong by being kind and true to ourselves.